So, a good day to each and every one of you. I am Ian Carlo Calub, and in this video, I'll be presenting my Laboratory 5 activity, which is all about the API development. So, for my project, is I created a simple RESTful app called Streamify API, which simulates a streaming service backend. And it allows users to perform CRUD operations, which stand for create, read, update, and delete, for managing movies or shows in a streaming platform. So, my example ano is like sa mga Netflix, sa mga Amazon, and as such. So for this project is I used Node.js, in which I installed on my laptop, and Express.js as my main framework for my API. So Node.js is a JavaScript runtime environment that allows us to run JavaScript code outside of the web browser, making it perfect for back-end development. And Express.js is, on the other hand, is a lightweight and flexible web framework built on top of Node.js. It simplifies building RESTful APIs by providing easy methods for handling routes, requests, and responses. So before I started coding, as you can see from my screen, is I made sure I had the following tools installed, like the Node.js, the Visual Studio Code, and Postman for the testing of my API endpoints. And after that, I created a folder named Simplify API and opened it in VS Code. And inside the terminal, I ran a command. So here, right here in the terminal, I ran the command npm init -y to initiate. So npm. So I input this command to initialize the Node project, and then installed Express and NodeMon using npm install. Such as I will put it simply here, the terminal. So NodeMon is a tool that automatically restarts the server whenever I make changes to the code. So my project only contains one main file, which is the server.js. So inside this file, I imported Express and created an instance of the app using a constant app express right here. So I also used app.use or express.json right here to enable my API to handle JSON data from the client. I then created an array called movies here. So these are the movies available for my API, which contains some sample movie data with fields like ID, title, genre, and the year. So next, I implemented the four CRUD operations. So the create, right here, the create, the read, update, and delete. So let's try to run. So in Postman, I used the post method with the endpoint movies. I went to the body tab, selected the raw to JSON, and enter new movie data like the title, genre, and year. When I click send, the API returned a response confirming that the movie was successfully added. So I will get to my Postman. So I will select the post here and input the URL. Now before I put this as I run this using the terminal in my VS Code. So let's go back muna sa Visual Code. So in order to run the program is I input to the terminal of my VS Code the npx node1 server.js or node server.js, and after that is it will automatically run the API on the selected URL. Now my URL is HTTP localhost and 3000. Right. So as you can see, as I run the npx node monserver.js in my terminal, the server is running on HTTP localhost 3000. So going back to the Postman is we're going to implement the create or the post request in our Postman application. So as you can see, I selected here the post in order to create or to add a movie and localhost 3000 movies, and I will click send. So as you can see here, in the body is there's a message that the movie is added and what type of movie is this and its ID, which is number 4. So this right here is that this right here is we know that we successfully added a new movie to our Streamify API. Now for the update request, I would select the put in order to update our movies or our API and movies slash what. And after that is, so as you can see, we have updated the movie Inception, Sci-Fi into 2010 and ID. So same thing, this is the result of the API or the updated movies that we update in our API or our server. So for the delete is we're gonna click delete here and send. As you can see, we've added the message movie deleted. So as I've said, no, that to start the server, I use the command npx nodemon server.js. Once the server started, it showed the message server running on HTTP localhost 3000. So when I open that link in my browser, it displays the text "Welcome to Streamify API." That means my server and API are both running properly. Now let's go visit this URL. Input here. And as you can see, this is our Streamify API. I have not input any kinds of content since my goal for this activity is to develop only API and having a CRUD operations using Postman. And also my main framework is Node.js and Express.js. So as you can see, both my API and my server are both running properly. This is the result and localhost 3000. Okay, to sum up this project, to sum up is that this project demonstrates how to create simple RESTful API using Node.js and Express.js. It also shows how to perform CRUD operations using Postman, which helps test and interact with the API easily. And so this project represents a basic backend structure that can later be connected to a database or even a front-end front-end web application. And that is all. And thank you very much for watching my presentation about the Streamify API, which is my Laboratory 5 activity for API development. Thank you and have a good day.